Live stream it is. Happy Monday. Woohoo! Welcome to boot camp. So Cece and I are going to make okay. So on our end, this is like training's just gonna we're just gonna get right into it. Okay. On our end, you guys, this is part of your boot camp is learning how to navigate a Zoom screen. Okay. So welcome to Mary Kay Boot Camp. We're just going to get right into it. If you on your right hand side of your screen select speaker view instead of gallery view, then you can just see who's talking and you get just a tiny row of the people that are participating in the event. Okay.
Top right, the top right.
Yeah, I think I said top right. I'm gonna spotlight Cece and I so that because we're both actually talking, I'll spotlight both of us. And then a little bit later, we will, there, a little bit later, we'll bring on Maggie Fortman a little bit later. But this is something that is super helpful for you when you are watching the events, okay? Now, we are also going live right now onto YouTube. So that means you can refer back to this. But the faintest ink is more retentive than the sharpest mind. That is a Mary Kay Ash quote. The faintest ink is more retentive than the sharpest mind. That means write it down. That's what that means. All right. Do you have a welcome also, Cece Lynn?
Pick a notebook, any notebook. Well, hello everyone. Happy Monday. I would just love to share our brief agenda for our detail people. What do you think about that?
That's you.
Oh, I'd already started to do it and then I
For
didn't.
the detailed person and the one who has it. There you go.
Excellent. So we are super excited. So we have a brief agenda we're going to stick to tonight to make sure that we get through lots of great details and allow you time to be able to watch this back and refer to it at any given moment, as well as to share it with your future team members and current team members. So we're really excited. We are grateful that you joined us and we're going to dig right in.
Here we go. We're digging. It came to our attention that there were just like things that you wanted to know. And also, if you have a question that is not yet, as you might see on that prompt, go ahead and type it in the chat and Cece, I'll have you watch the chat and make sure that we are staying on top of everything. Okay. So having the view of the speaker and also being spotlighted, I'm now basically looking at myself. So if there is something that you know that you're going to want to add, type it in the chat and CC you help make sure that we are keeping track of that. Yes?
Got it.
Okay. All right. So there are things that people want to know, and there is 28 years of information that we're going to tell you in less than an hour or about an hour. How about that? Yes?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So the very first thing is, if you did you know this? We're going to start with something that's going to blow your mind on partly why we're doing this. Did you know that if you sit within 25 feet of a high performer, your performance increases 15%? I'll say it again. If you sit within 25 feet of a high performer, your performance increases by 15%. Likewise, if you sit by a lower performer, whatever your definition of that is, your performance actually decreases by 30%. Yes. Who you hang around matters. Who you listen to matters. Where you sit in the room matters. how close you are to your screen right now and with your pen in your hand matters. Okay. That was just came across my screen today from Vanessa Van Edwards, who studies the science of people, who Donna Emanuele turned me on to about 10 years ago. I highly value this woman. Look her up. She is magnificent on how to speak to people. Okay. So now, if you know that some of those top performers are on these very things and are at our in-person events, does that make you want to come even more? Simply knowing your performance will literally be enhanced by 15% at the minimum, simply for hanging around these rock stars. And why I discourage people from sitting in the back of the room, because nothing good happens back there. Okay. All right. So hopefully you have a notebook. This is actually the first item on the agenda, is getting yourself a notebook that you absolutely love. Or if you are like my daughter, she has several notebooks. Okay. Now, as your coach, I do have another notebook that I do use for coaching. So when we are sitting at this very computer and I am talking to one of you, I do have my pages marked in here for each of you so that I know who I'm talking to, and I save that. But that notebook stays at my desk, and that is simply as a reference to who I'm talking to as your coach. My Mary Kay notes for every class, everything we do goes in one notebook. That is how my brain operates, is with one notebook. If you like to operate with multiple notebooks, different notebooks, that is completely fine. Of course, this is all subjective information that we are giving you with 28 years of experience, not notched into there. All right. Information gathered over my tenure. So if more than one notebook suits you, great. If you prefer a binder with loose leaf paper, have at it. Okay. Colors. Your brain remembers colors. So when you do take those notes tonight, maybe you grab another color when Cece starts talking, or when I switch the subject, grab a different color. It'll help your brain remember. Also, don't be afraid to turn your paper sideways and write the other way. And if it doesn't freak you out too much, go diagonally. Okay? These are things that actually are tricking your brain into remembering things even better. Wouldn't you agree that we all have a million things going on at any given moment, and you are trying to stay in the present moment? Some of you are doing everything you possibly can to pay attention to me right now. Okay. We can eliminate some distractions by putting our other phone on silence, or silencing your computer or whatever, or shutting the door to your office, whatever you need to do to pay attention, because I know your brain is being torn in a million different ways, right? Of course it is. That's life. The most successful ones are going to be the ones that are going to figure out how to eliminate some of those distractions. Okay. So one way to keep yourself organized is you get yourself a Mary Kay notebook. You take it with you to every event. Even if you think you know everything already, the only one on this screen that can know, that actually has more experience, is Tracy Pomeroy, because she's actually been in Mary Kay longer than me. And let me see your notebook, Trace. And the highest seller, who's the eldest person on the screen, can we see her notebook? Okay. So your two most senior people on the screen, one in Life Senior and one in Mary Kay, were the first two on here, by the way, tonight, with their notebooks. Okay. Need I say more? All right. I also then love referring back to the event. And then I take another color after and go, oh, that was good. Yeah. Oh, that was good. And I might even take blue and say 217 and go back to Chicago Rama's notes with my 217 colored pen and go, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then you may even want to consider after tonight, you may want to even rewrite it. It'll help you remember it even more. Maybe rewrite it while you're watching it back. Okay. I don't think that really isn't anything that has a question attached to it, does it? We're pretty sure on notebooks. Okay. Get yourself one that you really love. I really love the big ones that spread open all the way because I'm a lefty. I love that. Okay. I love hardcover ones. I love it when you guys buy me these. Okay. I'm a fan. All right. That's why I also give them to you at nearly every major event that we attend because I want to make sure somebody has a notebook for at least for that event. Okay. Next is, and if you want to start a different color, you go right ahead. This is image, etiquette, and attitude. Okay. Image, etiquette, and attitude. This is part of new consultant training because we also have new consultants on here. Image, etiquette, and attitude is something that I talk about at in-person training also. It's also one of the things that I taught at Chicago Rama because I had the privilege of teaching people that were in Mary Kay under a year. And the more time that passes from 1997, and I'm specifically referencing 1997 because that's the last time that consultants saw Mary Kay Ash in person. Okay. And with the exception of Tracy Pomeroy, none of you were there besides Tracy and I. Okay. That was seminar of 1997, which means you guys did not see her in real life. Okay. So this is image, etiquette, and attitude. This came from her. All right. So when we talk about image, I'm not just talking about your Mary Kay image. I'm literally talking about the image that you carry yourself with in all parts of your life. Okay. So let's start with the Mary Kay image first, and then let's talk about how it works with everything. So Mary Kay Ash herself created back in 1963, she actually did have a dress code, okay, of matching, like your skirt and your jacket had to match, okay, with a whatever colored blouse. You had to wear hosiery and you had to wear closed, low-toed, closed, low-heeled pumps, okay? She required it. Now, keeping in mind, in the 60s, women were not working a lot out of the home, and if they were, store clerks, teachers, bank clerks. They were in a professional setting, and they did dress professionally. They did dress up. Okay. Now, she did not want us to compete with men, which is why she wanted us to wear skirts in the first place. Okay. That's where this all starts. That's where it all started. Okay. Then the 80s came along, and then power suits came along, and then attorneys came along and said, you can't tell people what to wear. And she said, okay, but I can tell them why I wear this. And no one argued with her. No one argues with me either, especially when you know why. Okay. Anyone can wear pants. Professionals wear skirts. Now, there is no question when I go somewhere who's driving the pink Cadillac, and there shouldn't be. Okay. You are a step above, my friends. Mary Kay is not like anything else. And I know for sure every person on the screen that I'm not seeing at the moment, I'm not seeing everybody at the moment, but I know for sure, without even seeing all of you, that your image improved after you joined Mary Kay. Mine exponentially grew. Okay. Now, also keeping in mind, I am teaching you in my Mary Kay sweats. Okay. I am. And you can, because no one can see what you have on from your waist down. And you didn't know. You assumed I had a skirt on. Okay. I almost did actually. Um, and I don't care what you wear from your waist down when we're doing these. Who cares? All right. But waist up, man, you know who's in charge, right? Okay. In your life, in your world, when you step up your game, people are wondering, what's she doing? What's she doing? What's she doing? I want to know what she's doing. Okay. You step it up in other parts of your life, and people are attracted to it. Being dressed up is attractive, and you will appear more attractive and more knowledgeable. Did you know that? You will appear more attractive and more knowledgeable. I actually have an early 90s story of this that was fascinating. I used to work in sales, inside sales at a company that sold building supplies, and I was very good at it. And an outside person walked in one day, which was very unusual. We didn't usually have people just stop in off the street. And this guy walks in, and I am talking to a coworker. Now I'm inside sales and I'm dressed cute, but I'm really nothing. Okay. Like it's jeans and whatever. The company was fairly casual, except for the outside salesman. They wore suits. And an outside salesman happened to be standing next to me when this person came in. Okay. This guy, this outside salesman was just hired. He was brand new. He didn't know anything about building supplies. Nothing, zero, nada. He was at my desk because I was showing him a few things. Okay. But he was wearing a suit because he was outside sales. Who do you think the person started talking to when they walked in the door? Now, you can make an assumption that a girl doesn't know anything about building products. Sure, you can go ahead and assume that if you want, but if she works at a building products, she might know something working there. Okay. He literally knew nothing. And the guy is asking him all these questions, and he would just look at me and I would answer them. And he would ask more questions, look back at me. I would answer them. The guy never really acknowledged me that much. Now, it kind of bothered me at the time, but it doesn't anymore because I use it as an example. My coworker looked like he knew what he was talking about. Okay, he didn't, but he looked like he did. All right. You're automatically going to look more knowledgeable by dressing up. Now, where can you use that in other parts of your business or other parts of your life? Because when you dress up, you feel better. You know it. I was sick last week, all week long, from Monday night after the Monday night event until yesterday. It was horrible. And I did not get out of my pajamas or my bathrobe. Okay. I showered once and put it all back on. Okay. The robe in my house does not signify health. Okay. Okay. My daughter has a sweater from my grandfather that was called the sick sweater that he wore when he was sick, and he gave it to me when I was sick, and I gave it to Cece when she was sick, and she didn't give it back. Okay. The sick sweater. We know when the sick sweater comes out how we feel. Okay. I don't have the sick sweater on today. I got dressed today before this, all this. Okay. Yeah. Um, you know, when you curl your hair, you feel better. You know, when you have makeup on, you feel better. Okay. You know that if you have another job outside of Mary Kay, they all know when you have a Mary Kay appointment because you look like it. How about you look like that normally? Okay. Because it's going to help you in all areas of your life. Part of image is etiquette, how we treat people, how you treat the wait staff, how you treat the parking attendant, how you treat the clerk or the clerk at the store, the girl who checks us in at the hotel. Do you walk right by these people or do you acknowledge everyone? Do you acknowledge the one sweeping the floor along with the boss? are you just so single-minded and looking down and not paying attention to anything that you're just not even aware in the world of who's around you? I acknowledge everybody. I will say hi to anybody. I will smile at anybody. And in the last 5 years, this has become wildly apparent that people are not talking. You may have to start the conversation. Okay. What else about etiquette? Mary Kay etiquette is saying hello when you walk into a room filled with Mary Kay people. It's introducing yourself to other beauty consultants in the room that you don't know. It's telling your sales director that you have a guest and who she is and a little bit about her. It's telling your guest about your sales director. It's bringing us all together so that we're all three of us standing there loving on each other. And I say, oh my gosh, she does have beautiful eyes. You were right, Maggie, she does. Oh my gosh, how great. Oh, Katrina, I'm so glad that you came with Maggie. I'm so glad to meet you. She said such great things about you. That's part of your etiquette. When you can't come to something, letting us know. Do you know what one big reason is? Because when I invite the single mom who's heard my story 1,000 times, I want to know if Maggie Fortman's going to be there or not. Because I want to know if I can introduce my single mom friend to Maggie Fortman. I want to know if Cece's going to be there because I want to know if there's a former florist or a former college student or someone who's been doing this since college that I can introduce her. If I have a medical guest coming, I want to know if we've got medical people coming. Okay. I want to know if she's a grandma. I want to know if your guest had breast cancer. I want to know what her family situation is so we can love on her even more. Now, we used to say that we wanted to know if you were coming or not, so we knew if you weren't dead in a ditch. That was before cell phones. So we all knew who was attending, even though there was no Google form, there was no RSVPs anywhere. Before cell phones, we all knew who was coming because we told everybody we were coming, and we just assumed if you weren't there, you were dead. We just assumed it. Mm-hmm. And what I've discovered is what you're willing to go out in the freezing cold for and what you're not even willing to come onto a screen for. If I gave you free Brewer tickets or free Taylor Swift tickets or free Chris Stapleton tickets or free Packer tickets, I'm just going to cover as many as I just could there and there. Would you guys find a way to go? Probably. If I gave you Packer tickets, if I said, Trace, tomorrow night, hey, Trace, I got Packer tickets on the 50-yard line on August 3rd. Can you go? Yeah, you'd go. Okay. So this is literally to make money and make a difference in your family's lives. And the most it's going to cost you is $10 or free if it's virtual. Okay. So we're not asking you to walk across hot coals. We're asking you to remember your value and your importance in this team and that you are missed when you're not there. Every single person is missed when they are not there. And it's better when you are there. There are 17 of you watching this right now. If there were 17 consultants at our next in-person locally on Monday, that would be amazing. Okay. Now, Cece and I were part of a skit on Saturday or on last Saturday, the Butt Sisters, the BUTT sisters. Okay. But I was going to go, but I got a hangnail. I was going to go, but my eye started twitching. I was gonna go, but it's a half hour and I just don't want to drive. Yeah, again, back to that free ticket thing. Yeah. Um, so etiquette is simply remembering to be polite and professional to the people that are creating these very things for you that you said you wanted to come to. You said it. None of us made you sign up. Okay, which goes into attitude. Because if your image is slamming and your etiquette is amazing, your attitude is going to be fabulously out of the park. So Mary Kay said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right, right? Actually, Mary Kay did not say that. Henry Ford said it. Mary Kay's quoted as saying it. Henry Ford actually said it. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. Okay. My attitude is the number one reason why I drive a pink Cadillac. 100% will guarantee you my attitude is the number one reason I drive a Mary Kay pink Cadillac. Because I believe it's going to work out. I believe she's going to say yes. I believe you're going to say yes. I believe all 17 of you will be at the next event with a guest. If I'm going to make up a story, I'm going to make up a good one. And you can tell me you have to work late, and you can tell me you don't have a skirt, and you can tell me you don't drive, and you can tell me a million things. But someone else will have that very same reason that gets them there instead of what keeps them away. See, excuses only work if they work for everyone all the time. That's why they suck. Because they don't work for everyone all the time. Okay. So if Mary Kay says, you know, your attitude determines your altitude, and you know that you're looking slamming and your etiquette's amazing and you're going to show up, you can't go to work and not get paid, right? At your regular job. I also wonder, at your regular job, are you guys inclined to not respond to texts or emails or group messages at work? I'm asking because I have not been in the public workforce in 26 years. And for 2 years before that, it was with my mother, and it was only her. It was really easy to give her information. She was standing right there. I'm asking because the amount of responses that I get from emails that I send and texts that I send is very small. No one responds to my emails. No one. My personal ones or my ones that come from my office. 10% of our consultants respond to my group texts that are sent out through my business app, whether I send them or not. And the ones that I send, I get about 10% response. So my question is this just the way of the world? Because it's still a person that put that message together. And hey, guess what? I'm going to shock you here. I have feelings. I know. It's hard to believe. She's got feelings. Okay. I don't like being ignored either. Okay. Now, we're going to turn the page on that. And we're going to talk about technology. And this is where Cece is going to bring up her screen. And we could also maybe, should we remove spotlight for me on this?
Whatever you think. I think maybe you might want to add, particularly with the weekly accomplishment sheet.
Add what?
Words. So when I share my screen, we'll both still be on the side for everyone.
Okay.
Can I add anything?
Saying,
What I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think I need to be spotlighted for this. I'm just going to remove spotlight for me on this
Okay.
because yeah. So Cece, we're going to move into technology. And thank you guys for responding in the chat. I can actually see it now. Um, I appreciate you guys and your response. Um, okay. All right. Cece, go ahead.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're just going to touch on some basic to-dos that make tracking your business for you simpler and also for your sales director simpler so we can continue to be accountable to one another. And one thing I think that we often get twisted about accountability is that one person is getting yelled at and one person is doing the yelling, right?
Yes.
So, first of all, throw that out the window, right? Accountability, someone, Google it. It is literally simply a touch point so that if, for example, if Katrina says, we're working on this right now, I want to earn my way to career conference. And I'm like, awesome. Hey, let's work on a way to do that. Katrina signs up for the event on Thursday and she starts inviting women. Well, if she doesn't invite anyone, and I'm like, hey, Katrina, how many did you invite? And you're like, well, 0. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you said you wanted to do 15. Can we do 15? She's like, yeah, I can. I can't help her if she never told me, oh, shoot, you know what? I didn't do that. Can you help me with that? So it is simply, did you do it or didn't you? Okay, there's no judgment from us. It allows us to be able to guide you in your next best step because we love next best steps, right? So one thing that a tool that Mary Kay actually created for us, Mary Kay, the company, and has been around for many years, is called the Weekly Accomplishment Sheet. I'm going to show you guys where to access that and how very, very simple it is to submit it. One first step would be to head into My Customers and ensure that you have, let's say, five and more new clients into your My Customers this before Wednesday. Okay, that's one of your challenges for me. Okay, add 5 and more new friends into your My Customers app. That we can do on another day. I think I'm going to continue to show up on Courage Nation more with some tech tips, so we can talk about that on another day. My Customers allows you to track all of your client orders, whether they are from your inventory or from customer delivery service. When you do that, and you are taking really great care to enter all of your client information order to order, it will actually plug them into a sheet called the Weekly Accomplishment Sheet. I'm going to show you how to navigate to that, what it looks like, and how easy it is to submit. This is where the accountability comes in. So when you're on your InTouch, your screen may look pretty similar to mine as a sales director. It might look a little different, but generally it'll look the same. You're going to simply navigate over here to the third one over, Business Tools at the top. You're going to click on that. It'll drop open. And the third one down should be Weekly Accomplishments. If ever you guys are looking for a prompt and you're having trouble, remember that the search bar works really well too. So you'll simply click Weekly Accomplishment. And then you'll notice there is a few different prompts for you. One of them being enter weekly accomplishments, which we will go to next. And also when you scroll down, we've got FAQs and the document library, which will actually have some to-dos and some guides to help you fill them out if you're not quite sure where to start. Like I said, though, it's very simple. So we're going to go enter weekly accomplishments. When we click on that, it's going to open a separate board here for us. Okay, great. So this is what it looks like. This is so flipping cool, you guys. So what I've already done this past week is entered in 3 of my client orders into My Customers. Boom, there they are. What this allows me to do is go through step by step and basically track what kind of work that I'm doing. Sue, Mariah, and Tiffany all put in an order with me. I get to determine how that was put in, whether that was from a party, from PCP follow-up, a reorder, on the go, or maybe an online order. I get to determine and make sure that I track how I'm doing my work, how I'm getting it done. I get to also track my hostess gifts, what I've given away. Maybe they got a $5 gift, maybe they got a gift with purchase, and also the non-recoverable sales tax from that purchase or from that gift. I simply add these in and they will be logged below. So this allows me to also manually enter them too, but when you're using My Customers, such a great tool, these automatically go in. As you move through the My Customer, or let me just make this smaller here so I can see what I'm doing here. Okay, as you move through this, you'll see that it also allows you to track your interviews and your wholesale. So moving through, just hitting next on the bottom right, this is your summary. Potential team members interviewed, number of new team members, and number of appointments for next week. Hey, if you're getting to Friday, Saturday, and that's still zero, you can go, oh, geez, you know what? I don't have any appointments for next week yet. I need to get on that. It allows you to simply, what's the word?
Populate.
Yeah, populate where you're at right now. Okay, evaluate where you're at right now. Submitting your wholesale and your section 2. Again, another great way to track these things, you guys, for year end. This is the resource that mom uses when she's tracking her recognition and her year end as well. Next week's goals, it allows you to set weekly goals, you guys. I think that is something we really need to focus on that allows us to be successful week to week. This also is a really cool feature. I would like more information about the following areas. You can select whatever you'd like, and we get, as sales directors, a separate email saying, hey, Katrina filled this out, and she mentioned that she'd like more information about sharing the opportunity. I can say, oh, great, okay, I'll make sure to talk with Katrina about that because she marked that specifically. Helps us stay accountable to you guys. So you continue to hit next, move through them. You get to type in right here who you interviewed and who you recruited. Wow, what a great tracking tool. So you can always go back to that. Oh yeah, the week of February 16th. That's right, I talked to Sally. I got to go back and follow up with her. Again, allows you to track and stay accountable. Then it also will break down your earnings. Once you submit that first part with your sales, it'll show you what you've earned minus your non-recoverable sales tax and your gifts. Very cool. Then you simply move through to submit, and you'll actually see that your sales director will be listed. It'll be me or my mom. And we are able to submit those, and then you are simply able to stay accountable to us, and we can be accountable to you too. You guys, some weeks, maybe some of those numbers will be 0. Some days they might be 1,000, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're staying accountable, and that weekly check-in allows us to not only not wonder, hey, where has she been at? You know, she said she wanted these few things. What the heck? You know, where is she? It allows us to be accountable and say, hey, I noticed you marked this. This is somewhere that you'd like more support, right? And you say, yes, you know what? It really is. I need help. I got you. So moving through that, talk to your sales director if you have questions, but starting a weekly habit of that is going to serve you very, very well. Any quick questions on that before I move on or anything? I love this. Thank you, Ashley Zelly. Okay. Who did not know about weekly accomplishments? Katrina, she's new. Not really any. Okay, Marianne, very good. Great. So this is something that's good to review and also good to know about when you're brand new. All right. Okay.
May I also add?
Yes.
Which Cece said at the very beginning, this is not a judgment, okay?
Right.
We're not sitting here going, oh my gosh, oh, what is wrong with her? Okay, we're not doing that, okay? We're not doing that. This is how you track your business. I submit my weekly accomplishment sheets still. After 28 years, my assistant submits them for me to me. So I know at any given moment what my sales were. Where do I need to pick up? Oh, my goal was 5 team members and I got 0. Oh, Lisa, you put that goal on there. So I love doing my weekly accomplishment sheets. And you guys, the more product you sell, the more you'll like to do it because you're going to see yourself making money on there. And you're going to be like, yeah, I'm gonna, yes. How many parties did I just do? Oh, look, my sales last week were from a reorder, a party, and a facial. So you're gonna see where the bulk of your business lies. How do you think I tell you guys that I have virtually a reorder business on National Court of Sales? I mean, a National Court of Sales
on reorders alone.
On reorders. How do you think I know that? I don't know it because I just say it. I know it because I'm reading my weekly accomplishment sheets going, wow, 3/4 of my sales are reorders. 3/4. Okay. Then I also look at it and go, okay, that's good that I have a National Court of Sales business on reorders, but I'd like more people, please. I'd like more parties. Okay. How many did you do last month? How many did you do last week? These are excellent tools to help you make your money, keep your money, and see where your money's going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. All right. So then we also want to make sure that we are reminding you of the continuing education that is abundant on Mary Kay in Touch, very easy to find. And what's really cool about some of these modules in particular is that you can keep coming back to them as well. So back to our Mary Kay in Touch main page, under the education tab here, right in the middle on the top, we drop that down. Now you'll see new beauty consultants start here. You know what, y'all? If you have that prompt, you may or may not actually.
Everyone has it.
Everyone has the new beauty consultant thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So always go back. We can be new every month if we choose and choose to renew our education. However, on this one, I want to particularly point out, second from the bottom here is MK Confident. Now, this is going to lead you through several different modules, both in terms of confidence in team building, confidence in appointments, and confidence in our products as well. What's really neat about it is you also get these fabulous bling badges. And what that means is when you get a company, when you go to a company sponsored event, for example, upcoming career conference or seminar, you get a company name tag, a name badge with all your information on it. These are the types of accomplishments and stickers, if you will, that get printed onto your name tag because it shows like, hey, I'm doing the things. And it's always really fun to collect these little modules because you can just add more to your name tag and it's awesome. So you can see that each one is broken down very specifically: social media, legal, team building, product education, and great starts journey. So these are all very important. And if you haven't done these in a while as a seasoned consultant, I would highly encourage you to hop back in. Again, it tracks them as you go. Check this out: achievements, bling buttons. It's obviously been around a while since I've done them too, so I definitely need to get back in here. And I know, Mom, you said you just restarted them as well.
I did. Yeah.
So this is really
it's
cool.
So easy.
It's super easy. It's very digestible information, and it's just fun. So kick off your great start. There's quick videos, becoming savvy in social media. Hey, that's a really great place to start. You could build on the conversation I started at Chicago Rama about social media. Mastering social media, managing your business, and booking parties, you guys. Essentially, there shouldn't be anything you say you don't know how to do that's not truly in that tab, especially when you're first starting out. If you're like, gosh, I wonder what she said about that, or what exactly should I say? Next best step is always to head to that education tab on In Touch, because chances are there's an example, a video of a conversation, true examples that you can use and directly immediately apply to real life scenarios, which I love that Mary Kay is so on top of this. So always available to you. Do them on your lunch break. Start building that in every day. What a great way to spend your lunch break, building up your Mary Kay business, right? Yes. So any questions on that real briefly before we move on? I was just going to pull up my chat. Everything's a little.
Or what are your questions? Did you guys know about MK Confident?
Lots of nods. Great. Always good to review. Yes, need to do it again. Yeah, for sure, Jill. It is. It's just a great way to stay on top of things. And what a great way to share with your clients too that, hey, I'm really excited. I'm spent my lunch break at work today on MK Confident, learning more to be a better beauty consultant for you. Yes. What's something that you'd want to know? What's something that you want to know about my Mary Kay business, or what's something I should find out for you?
Yes.
Because people love to give their opinions.
Yes.
Review is a great teacher. Thanks, Nan. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Who is committed to doing that this month and next month with me in the next couple of weeks?
Me. I did a bunch of them today. It was so fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a great way to use better screen time also. If you find yourself scrolling, head over to MK Connections and MK Education rather, and do some of those modules instead and improve your brain, right? Okay, and then finally, just a quick review. Let me go back to, oh gosh, I can't see. Hold on. Here we go, back to In Touch. Okay, quick review of our ordering process, because we also want to show you all the perks that come along with the way that this new Mary Kay In Touch is set up. So again, back on our main screen on Mary Kay In Touch, when we hit ordering, we are navigated to the ordering screen. Something to keep in mind is that as you guys are shopping and adding your products, they're always going to show up here in your cart. They're never going to go away, which is so nice, especially as you're hopping in and out of In Touch throughout the days. When we hover over ordering, we want to remind you of all the things that are available here too, like product replacement, Star Consultant, MK Connections vouchers, order history, and MK Connections is here as well. So know that you can always hover over ordering once you're in here, and there are additional options. Sometimes I forget that myself. So just a reminder of that too. Then you can choose how to navigate. So you can hit the one-page order sheet, which kind of just bumps everything down into categories, easy to expand and then close as you need them. So you can click on the plus sign over here, open that up, go to new and limited edition, check out those exciting things. And then you can simply over here, press the minus sign, collapse it back together. So you can look things up this way. You can also use the search feature. I'm going to show you something in the search feature, and let's how about go to our cleanser. Whoops. Well, even if you don't spell correctly, it still pops up, which is great.
Yes, it
So
is.
what you see here is all of the cleanser options that might be relevant to your search. And when I click on one of them, for example, the time-wise repair value from foaming cleanser, you will see right in here that there is an additional description about the product, as well as, oh, look at that, product fact sheet. The product fact sheet is a very easy download PDF that you can share with your clients or that you can use to get more information on a given product. These are super, super priceless, you guys, because it gives us the words and the more specific information on our products to help us become more confident as well. So know that those are always available within the description of each product, all in one spot.
Yes, you no longer have to go to a different spot for product knowledge. It's all right in there.
Yep.
I really like the search feature on will you put your screen back up? I really like the search feature when you're looking for anything. And I just talked with a new consultant, Judy, yesterday and showed her this way to order or doing it the one-page order sheet way. It depends on your preference. If you know that you're restocking eyeshadows, you might want to go to the one-page order sheet because it will just list all 34 of the powder eyeshadows. If you know that you need to see them all because you, heaven forbid, cannot remember which one's Biscotti and which one's Blossom, then you use the other way so that you can look at every single item.
Yeah, the categories at the top. It's another great option. And then there's your
and because it also shows you anything in the last year and if it's out of stock. So for instance, those liquids at the top of the page there are out of stock, but we had them at Christmas time. So you can see that they're gone, but also you might look it up because you're like, what was the price of that?
Yep.
There it is. Does anyone have a question about ordering and the ordering screen? It is so much easier than it used to be.
Yeah, Tracy didn't know about the fact sheet. It's so helpful. They're all in there now. Steph looks at the product fact sheets a lot. Excellent. Yeah, makes us feel better too. We're like, what was the stat on that again? I always want to learn more about time-wise repair, and I have to remember that that's all in there.
Yeah. Yes, you're welcome, Mom. Okay, then if we are good with that, then we are going to turn the page again, and we're going to talk about bookings, okay? Because it's the lifeline of our business. And you want something from your business. That's why you're on the call tonight, okay? There are 16 of you. Let's take out 2 directors. All right, there are 14 beauty consultants, 16 of us total that desire something from our business because we took the time, 1 hour of our time tonight to be on. Some of you spent even more than that because you got yourself looking fabulous, and thank you for that. So, you know people. Did you know that? If you tell me you don't know anyone, you're lying. Okay, we all know people. Now, there is a term for people that we don't know very well It's called weak tie. And we heard our friend Kendry talk about this the other day. A weak tie is someone that you know, but you don't know very well. You might not even know their name. They might sit next to you in church. Jane sits next to me in church. I don't know her last name, nor do I have her phone number. Okay. A weak tie might be a neighbor that you wave at. Maybe you don't know their name. Maybe you only a general idea what street they live on, or the one who walks her dog by your house or whatever. Weak ties. Maybe you go to the same gas station or the same coffee place every day at the same time, and you see the same barista or the same person as you going and getting your coffee or pumping their gas or whatever. Okay. A weak tie. You have tons of weak ties. You might work in a large building. Maggie Fortman works in a big building downtown. A weak tie could be Maggie, someone that you see in that building all the time that you don't actually know, but you see that person and they know you. Maybe you ride on the elevator, see each other in the parking lot, whatever. Okay. Weak ties. Weak ties could also be on social media. They might actually be a friend of yours. They might be a friend on social media, on Facebook or Instagram, but you might not actually know them. Maybe they follow you. Maybe it's an acquaintance, someone you don't know very well. A weak tie. They are a great person to start with. Because some of you are going to tell me that your family's tired of you. Fine. Some of you are going to tell me that you have talked to everyone that you know. Fine. Make a list of weak ties because you've not spoken to all of them yet. And since I know who's on the screen and I can see you all, I am beyond a shadow of a doubt, you all have someone you can still ask in your life that would say yes to you simply because you asked. Hey, would you come to this thing with me next Monday? I really want to go and I don't want to go alone. Have you ever just said that? You know that's okay to say, right? I don't want to go somewhere alone. If I wasn't sick last week, I was supposed to go to Cece's big shindig, which I really wanted to go to, and my mother was my date. I like to go places with people too. Okay. Now, if you've not been to a Mary Kay thing in a while, I want you to know that when you walk in, if we've not seen you in a while, no one is going to say to you, oh, look who the cat dragged in. Okay. No one's going to say that. No one's going to say, where have you been? No one's going to say that. No one's going to say, wow, it's been a really long time. No one's going to say that. You are going to be received with open arms, like you always are. I'm so glad to see you. I've missed your face. I'm so glad to see you. She's glad to see you. She's glad to see you. There's pom-poms and tambourines. I got it, Ash. You are literally greeted at the door with a tambourine. No one is more excited to see you than your dog, your cat. I don't even know about your cat, and your Mary Kay family. Okay. If you have a small child, they might be very excited to see you. Okay. But that's just because you have something for them. Your small child. Your small child is happy to see you for what you can do for them. Feed them, get something off the shelf, give them candy, whatever. Okay. We are genuinely excited to see you without expecting anything in return. Okay. Okay. Now, before I go on with parties and facials and events, I'm going to let's call Maggie on here because this is going to have to do with attitude and why in-person parties and facials and events are so important. Mags?
Okay, so I'm so excited about this, you guys. I had been doing listening to a podcast and came across this study that was done that included NBA teams and some students and all kinds of things. And it's about human interaction, like face to face and in like in people's space. But most specifically, the study is about high-fiving and how everybody should be high-fiving way more and or hugging and having appropriate nice contact with people. Okay, like physical contact with people. Okay, so I'm really excited. So they did this study at UC Berkeley, and they studied a season of NBA basketball teams, and they found out that the teams who high-fived more won more games. And in fact, they could tell you which teams were actually going to be in the playoffs within the first week of the practices of the season because of how they interacted with each other. They would hug, they'd chest bump, they'd high five, they'd do all these things, okay? So the reason for this is because people really need physical touch. It is up there like with food and oxygen to live. And there's a very sad study about monkeys, which I'm not going to get into, but basically they would pick the human touch over food if that was their choice. So it is a basic human need that people need it. So it's vital for cooperation and group functioning. It reinforces that teammates are operating for the good of the group and not just themselves. And it determines how they'll cooperate and how well they'll perform. The other thing that it does is it helps to build trust between groups because you know that your teammate is going to have your back during the middle of this. It also raises your oxytocin levels, which is your feel-good cuddle hormone, if you will, which actually reduces cortisol. And cortisol is a stressor that is just no good for your body or your brain. So the more you can raise your oxytocin level, the better off you are as well. Same thing happened when they studied these students. The ones who high-fived more actually had better academic performance and were psychologically better off, which is so amazing. So, in conclusion, I will say you all should be high-fiving more often. And in fact, you should high-five yourself even. Like, high-five yourself after you brush your teeth in the morning. See how your day goes. I don't know. I high-five my kid now since I found this study every single morning. The days I forget, she doesn't have as great a day as she does most days that I do remember. So we high-five a lot or hug almost every morning to make sure that we get ourselves out the door and happy. So
Yes.
you can use it to express gratitude, and you can it enhances your mood and builds confidence. So high five, hug, get in the space with people, do your parties because people need you and they need your touch. So I hope that encourages you to just be a joy. And you know what? If you don't want to hug somebody because that'd be weird, fist bump them or high five them. It's perfectly fine.
Yes.
I'm done.
Thank you. And the energy after you taught it the other night when we did it, and then we're working on, if you look at the person's elbow, your high five will be, your high five will be on every time. Look at the person's elbow who you're high fiving, and your high five will line up, I promise, and you won't feel stupid.
We could even try and high five everybody on the screen right now if you wanted to. Okay. I love you all.
Oh, Maggie, that was great. So that is circling back to our events. Okay. So now we've shared a lot with you in the last hour. And if you're like, gosh, I just don't know where to go with all of this information. Okay. Well, you can come Monday night in person to our season makeover event, and you can learn your own season. You can learn if you're wearing the right colors or not. You could call your friend or your mom or your sister or your neighbor or a weak tie and say, I'm going to go learn this and I'd like you to learn it with me. You could specifically call someone that you know is not your season and say, I don't think we're the same season and I would really like you to come with me. Okay. Because all of these things that we taught you tonight are literally taught at our events. Sometimes they are specifically taught with words like we did tonight. Sometimes it is taught by feeling there, by being there. You're feeling it. You're seeing. you're seeing the cortisol or the what?
Cortisol drop and oxytocin raise.
Yes. Okay. Which also leads me to team building. Okay. Now, you may or may not decide that you want to build a team. It's fine. What I do want you to stay open to is life. I want you to stay open to life. If you are closed to team building, you are not open to life in your business, because it's not up to you if she wants to join Mary Kay or not. It's up to her. Surprise. It's actually her decision, not yours. Okay. So we have a very high success rate of our guests joining our teams that come to our Monday night events or our Saturday events or whenever our events are, because they felt amazing. They wanted the discount for themselves. And there are 4 things that women crave. 4: time, money, community, and friends. Do we offer all 4 of those? Yes. Women want more time in their life. They want higher quality time. What is something that we can teach them? Time management. I have a team member that is addicted to Korean drama shows. I don't even know what it is, but she's addicted to it. And apparently some sort of beverage that they drink when they watch it, which is on the show also. Okay. Great. Fine. Be addicted to Korean drama shows if you want, but don't tell me you don't have time to come to something or to send a text or to hold a facial if you're binging Netflix. Okay. You know that you're going to be sitting on social media and scrolling and looking to see what your friends are doing. How about if you print off your customer list from my customers, because you have their names in there because Cece taught you how to enter them. And while you're scrolling on social media, why don't you look and see what some of your clients are doing and send them a little love? Like or love one of their current posts. Remind them that you're their beauty consultant by simply just admiring something they said or one of their kids' pictures or something that they wrote. Let them know you're thinking about them. Because they like it when nice people follow them. And then lastly, toddler brain. Toddler brain. Okay. We all have it. We all have a toddler brain. All humans have a toddler brain. Okay. Here is your toddler brain. You go to sit down to your desk. Now, this is specifically my Mary Kay example, but this is your Mary Kay. This is your example, no matter what you're doing. Okay. Maybe you just drove to your job. Okay. And you sit down at your desk and your toddler brain doesn't want to do it. I don't want to. I don't want to make that call. I don't want to do this thing. I don't want to. I'm tired. I need a snack. You know, I want to sit in my chair like this. I don't want to do anything that lady said. Okay. So you just tell your toddler brain, it's okay. It's okay, toddler brain. Thank you. I hear you. What can I get you? Do you need a snack? Do you need your tea before you sit down and make your booking calls? What can I get you? Do you need a cookie? What do you need? Okay. And you acknowledge your toddler brain. Thank you, toddler brain. I know you're just trying to keep me in check. Thanks, toddler brain. Now I'm going to get to work. And do not, Jill Kubit, put your pajamas on when you walk in the door when you get home from work. Or if you absolutely have to, Jill, then you make 5 booking calls in your car before you walk in the house. Do it where you will be least distracted. Okay. or
Yes.
commit to still doing it in your pajamas. If you need a certain spot in your house, I have a booking chair on the other side of my office. This is not my booking chair. This is my coaching chair, my Zoom chair, my screen chair. This is not, I don't make bookings right here. And some of you that work from home and don't love every aspect of your job are expecting to excel in Mary Kay in a chair you don't love that you sit in for 8 hours a day. You might want to hop up and go somewhere else. Okay? Go sit on the couch. Go in your car. Car can make a great office. It's got great acoustics too. Okay? Go get a booking chair. Go sit somewhere else. Okay? So just acknowledge your toddler brain and thank the toddler brain, and then say, and now we're going to get to work. Thank you for protecting me. Here we go. Okay. That's it. That is our training for the evening. Do you have lots of notes? Yes? And we have 16 of us. We only lost one. I thought maybe we had 17 when we started. Maybe someone lost their connection. Did you like it? Paper's on fire. We're getting thumbs up. Okay, great. We're getting awesomes. Okay, great. Good. The best way after writing this that you can remember it is to use it and share it. Use it and share it. Call one of your team members. Most of you on here are a recruiter. If you're not a recruiter, tell your husband, tell a client, I just learned this. I just wanted to tell you what I just learned. I was just reminded of this. I was just reminded how amazing our sales directors are to share their knowledge with us because they're actually doing this. Because they actually are team building and holding parties and facials and going through MK Confident and doing their weekly accomplishment sheets and have their notebook and do image and etiquette and attitude and choose to sit within 25 feet of the top performer instead of getting sucked in to the toddler brain girl. All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. Hold up your whatever. I'm going to take a quick picture. And I'm going to do a drawing for an Amazon gift card for staying till the end. Yeah, someone's going to be very happy. Amazon gift card for coming on to training. Okay? Love you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. We'll see you in person Monday night for Seasons Makeovers. It's on the Boards app. It's all there for you. Okay? Love you guys. Thank you.